Hello, what's up guys, welcome to my channel BST African Electronics Surgery on a Sunday. And I came for my revenge video. You remember this HP motherboard which came from another repair shop. We checked everything. We see the main 19 volts power array was shorted to ground by a ceramic capacitor, and that was for the vehicle power supply, the processor power supply. One of the ceramic capacitors was shorted to ground. I took out the capacitor and I didn't replace the capacitor. Yet at the end of the video, the motherboard was turning on, but I tried to connect the HDMI. There was no display, and from that moment I stopped the video. But that affected me so much, because a lot of subscribers email me. Some, they could even leave their comments giving their own opinion. So let's move further and check some things why this motherboard didn't give us display. But let's go back in time and see how a switching power supply is working on laptop motherboards. Because someone emailed, I'm sure it's one of my subscriber, and he said, you know what, you took out the capacitor, the ceramic capacitor which was shorted, and you didn't replace the capacitor, and that is the reason why you failed to get display at the end. So yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, it is my fault. I think I should go back a little bit back and do some beginner lessons, because I don't think ceramic capacitors has anything to do with the display. I don't think so. So let's go back in time and draw how a switching power supply is working on laptop motherboards, and then we can see on the display side. So we have our 19 volts power rail here from the current sensor here. So what do we have? We have some capacitors connected to ground. Can be 3, can be 2, can be 4. That's not very important. After the ceramic capacitor, one side of the capacitor is connected on the plus 19 volts and the other one is ground. After that, we have some MOSFETs, 4 pins together, 3 pins together, like 2 MOSFETs, switching MOSFETs, 3 pins together, 4 pins together, connected to ground. That 4 pins, we said that's our that is drain. Here 3 pins, that's source, and our gate. Here we have the driver. That's the driver. That's the driver or a power management chip, and our gate is going straight to this chip. These MOSFETs, they are switching devices. switching up and down will create voltage. And what do we have here? We have a coil. That's our coil. After the coil, we do have a feedback here. That's our feedback. If you check on any data sheet of every driver, we must have feedback here. Feedback. That's our feedback, or a current sensor, which is sensing this feedback, because the driver has to know what is going on the output. So this current sensor is sending signal to the driver that everything on the output is up and running. After that, we have our electrolyte capacitor on the output, and then we have, let's say, 1.5 volts. That's the RAM voltage. Okay, that's the RAM voltage. So here, gate. So that's how a switching power supply is working on a laptop motherboard. Exactly like this. We do have 19 volts ceramic capacitors and some MOSFETs switching up and down will create voltage here. That's our coil, and that's the management chip. And we do have a current sensor, which is sensing if everything is right on the power supply. Will send a signal to the power management chip to ensure that we have constant voltage on the output, because it's regulating some power here. Okay, good. So I want to clear the first error from one of our subscribers. He said there were 4 ceramic, let's put one here, ground. There were like 4 capacitors, ceramic capacitors. In the second one here, this one, the second one here was shorted to ground, and I took out this capacitor and never replaced it. Why? Because these capacitors, they are meant to stabilize voltage, to ensure that all spikes on the input, they are cleared out before the voltage pass to the driver. Okay, so even if I took this capacitor and never replace, the laptop will still work fine, and this capacitor has nothing to do with the display. Okay, they are there to prevent any spikes or to ensure that we have a stable 19 volts input into the power supply. Okay, so that one is clear. We cleared out that one. So that's how a switching power supply is working. So okay, so let's go back to our problem. So that's our motherboard. Let's try to look for the charger. That's the charger. Let's check for 19 volts on the charger. Check on the screen, 19.31. Our charger is fine. Let's plug in the charger. We have light. You can see the light. we still have a light. What I did, I tried to power on the motherboard with a tweezer. Let's do it exactly what we did last time. Fan is spinning. Okay, let's check out. So the first mistake which I saw from the comments was you take out the ceramic capacitor and your motherboard is not displaying because it didn't replace it. Ceramic capacitors has nothing to do with the display. Okay, the second issue, someone said maybe it's a corrupted BIOS due to high fan speed. I think the issue is this fan is connected to 5 volts, so it will be too noisy. Sometimes what I'm doing on the issue of fans, I'm disconnecting the plus from the 5 volts and reconnect it to the 3.3, not the one which is meant to be on all the time, but 3.3 probably for the PCH, and then in that way the fan will be smooth and less noise. Okay, so those are some of the comments which I wanted to clear out. So let's see why this thing is not displaying. We have the graphics which is soldered on the motherboard together with the processor. Let's power on and check some voltage. Let's check some voltage. Let's power on the board. Same. You can see the LED here is on. So let's check some voltage. We have some coils here. That's the 3.3 and the 5 volts power rail. Okay, what do we have here? We have this power supply here, so next to the RAM. I believe that the RAM power supply must have 1.5 volts there. Check on the screen, 1.52. On the RAM itself, we have some capacitor. One side of the capacitor is to 1.5, the other one is to ground. You see on the RAM, exactly on the RAM. See my probe? On the RAM, 1.52. So we don't have the problem with the RAM power supply. Okay. What about on the processor? What voltage do we have there? 0.98, 0.9, 1.79. I don't know what power supply is this one. What about this one? 1.112. Okay, so we checked all the power supplies. Do you have a corrupt BIOS? Let's connect to the HDMI again and see if we still have no display with that. Okay, on. You can see on the screen no signal. We still have no display. Okay, So let's see what can be wrong here. So our fan is still spinning at full speed, but we don't have a display. Let's turn it off. Let's change the RAM. We do have another RAM. Let's put another RAM there. Our HDMI. Let's see with another RAM. On. Still 0. Okay. Again, let's try to hunt the display for this. Okay. Maybe we can, let's reset the BIOS. Because I really need to know why this machine is not, this motherboard is not displaying. I don't want to flash the BIOS first. That is the last thing after I've tried everything. And you have a picture on the screen. You see? Reboot, CMOS invalid. Seems everything is working fine here. It's trying to boot, but there's no address there. Please install an operating system on your hard disk. You can see. So clearly that was a RAM issue. Clearly that was a RAM issue. So I think I'm happy now. So what can I say to you guys? Like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for future updates. See you on the next replay. Bye.